kids of integration. You had to be strong, or else none of us were going to make it.
A life that began with struggle has grown and developed through hard work into success.
I believe in rising to the occasion of my own life and representing for the world exactly who I am.
And now, as she experiences the fruit of her labor, she's in it for the long haul.
Retirement?
What's that?
What is that? I said, no, I'm Betty White Black, baby. I'll be working until the very end.
She's a diva in every positive way possible. Sheryl Lee Ralph, here on The Pulse.
And I know where my voice belongs.
Guys, welcome to another episode of The Pulse. And I feel like all the time I say these episodes are special because I love the fact that we have special people in the studio. But we've known you for a minute,
yes,
but wanted to get you into the studio for a minute. So I am thrilled to have award-winning performer, author, Emmys, Tonys, good stuff.
All that stuff.
Sheryl Lee Ralph, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Good to be with you today.
I appreciate you coming in. Okay, so we got a lot of things to talk about. Let's start with the newest thing, and that's the book.
Diva 2.0, 12 life lessons from me for you.
This is not your first book.
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is actually, in some ways, an updated version of the first one, which was Redefining Diva. 10 years have passed, so many things have happened, and I just said, okay, maybe it's time for a fresh outlook.
Then it was redefining Diva and making it into a positive thing.
Yeah.
So what's Diva stand for to you?
For me, it's an acronym. Divinely inspired, victoriously alive, awesome, audacious, and if it was Sunday, we would be anointed. Yes.
Why do we need to redefine it?
I think, it was a wonderful word, to begin with. Diva stood for goddess, a deity, a woman who, with the power of her confidence and her talent, when she took to the stage, just changed the vibration of the theater. And now, things happened, and then it became about big hair and even bigger, badder attitude, and how unkind you could be, or rude behavior. And I just said, something, for such a wonderful word, let's reclaim it. So now we're lifting it up on a little higher, Diva 2.0.
And it is reclaiming it, right? So
Yes.
you've been doing this long enough to see, like, I remember Miss Patti LaBelle. And we
Diva.
said diva, right?
Yes.
But you said diva then, like, such a positive thing.
Oh, yes.
You had Gladys
Aretha
Knight,
Franklin.
right.
Diva.
And we embraced diva
Yes.
then. So when did it become, that person's just doing too much?
Well, you know what, I won't talk about them, but there were a lot of people who just were exhibiting a complete lack of confidence by exhibiting bad behavior, by showing you that it was okay to be unkind. It is never okay to be unkind. And when you embrace bad behavior, we end up in times like what we're in right now, where lying has become okay. Lying is not okay. Hurting people physically, it is not okay. We're experiencing that with physical altercations, gun violence. We're also seeing it in hit and run accidents. These things are not okay. It is the worst of us. Those who get on the street and decide that the rules of the road are not for them. That sort of behavior is not okay. We have to re-examine who we are as human beings and what is good for the world. That's why I stress in my book, be kind as you possibly can to yourself so that you are better able to spread that kindness and share it with others.
The book explores a lot of kind of life lessons. It explores your history.
Yes.
It feels like in a lot of your speeches, and we'll touch on them, and a lot of your philanthropy, you're just kind of giving a message to society of be better.
I know what it's like to be left out. I know what it's like not to be chosen. I know what it's like to be told, well, I don't like that about you, or I don't like this about you, so therefore you don't get the job. I know what all of that feels like, but I also know what it feels like to continue believing in myself, understanding and knowing that if they don't choose me, they have made a terrible mistake. And they might not know it now, but they will know it later. You know, I believe in me. I believe in rising to the occasion of my own life and representing for the world exactly who I am. Yeah.
Did you always have that belief in yourself, or did you have to get there?
I'm a child of the 60s, and I had to get there. You know, being a child of the 60s, oh, it was horrible. You know, when I talked about that in my TED Talk, and I talked about how the 60s really molded me as a human being when people... They were just unkind to you. They would say horrible things to you. You know, the shade of your skin wasn't good enough. The shape of your nose wasn't good enough. Your lips were not good enough. And oh my God, and people would just say all kind of things to you. I integrated my school when I tested out of public school, and I went to a very private school, Notre Dame Academy for young women, and I was the only black person in the whole school all day long. And the things that I was subjected to by people, and not just the kids, but the adults too, it was either going to make me stronger, it was going to completely break me. And having the kind of parents that loved me, you know, my parents pushed me knowing that I could overcome, knowing that I could take it. You know, kids of integration, you had to be strong, or else none of us were going to make it.
Glenn Turman was here.
Yes, I love Glenn Turman.
And doing a bunch
oh
of
my
he had a
God.
documentary out.
Yes.
And it's interesting because he was talking about some of those same things, because he's been in the industry through a lot of those steps.
Right.
Is it ever interesting to you that we sit back and we see the success? We see Diva in the kindest sense of the word.
Yes.
And had no idea what was going on behind the scenes as you're smiling on camera. The same fights that people were having in society, you're fighting in an industry that was often unkind.
Yes, you know, I tell people I don't look like my journey. You know, I do not look like my journey. I show up the best me possible. The industry, I remember, I thank God for Sidney Poitier. My very first film, Piece of the Action, was with him, and he was just so wonderful about guiding me through the industry, helping me understand how difficult it would be. And I remember leaving that set, and he said he was very sorry the industry did not have more to offer me because I deserved it. But, you know, all things in time, because all of those years passed, and it's taken me 40 years to become an overnight sensation, and I am enjoying the best times in my whole career.
So you still love this?
Oh, I love what I'm doing. It was interesting. I was sitting down watching TV, and they were talking about retirement and retirement taxes, and I literally thought for a moment, I said, retirement?
What's that?
What is that? I said, no, I'm Betty White Black, baby. I'll be working until the very end. Absolutely. She and Cicely Tyson worked right up until the day before they died. That'll be me. Yeah.
Coming up next, she's experiencing a lot of personal success, but Sheryl Lee is always about standing up for her peers.
This strike is a seminal moment in the entertainment industry.